The beginning of spiritual freedom is the realization that you are not the thinking. You are not this possessed entity. That you are not your mind. My name is Rohit, and in this video we will go over this concept of freedom, of spiritual freedom. I've been studying law of attraction, manifesting, and a lot of spiritual books for over years now, and my goal with this channel is to help people really understand their spiritual self and also help them manifest their dream life, their dream job, their dream relationship, whatever they desire, with the power of their imagination. So many great thinkers have said that mind is a great instrument if you use it wisely, and it's a very bad instrument if you let it use you. And some people have said your mind or your brain is a great slave but a terrible master. So how we can be free of this terrible master, how we can have that spiritual freedom, is by a practice of simply being present. It's a very simple practice, but by doing this on a consistent basis, you will develop a lot of space and you will stop identifying with your spiritual or with your mental self or your ego self, which you believe is who you are. We are infinite beings. We are not just limited to the contents of this body or this mind. We are infinite spiritual beings, and we are connected throughout, all over. So what we need to understand is, this is a big problem I had when I was manifesting. I was constantly obsessive about other negative thoughts. I mean, I would constantly obsess or constantly get stressed out, and really stressing it out all the time. If I have an interview coming up, or if I have an important meeting coming up, or an important date coming up, I would stress out, be so stressed out, and never really enjoy the things in the moment. If I have, some kind of workshop I have to deliver, I would be just stressing out about the workshop and not really enjoying the moment. And my mind would became so much controlling that it would control, and oh, what if this happens? What if you lose power? What if this happens? What if someone says something? What if this? What if that? And all kinds of negative scenarios will keep popping in, and I would get frustrated, and I would just leave everything and just go for a ride on my bike. And for some reason, when I was riding my bike, it always calmed me down. Or I've been running. For some reason, when I did that, it calmed me down. And even playing video games. For some reason, sometimes, not most of the time, sometimes, when I played video games, it calmed me down. And I was like, what could be the reason? Why am I so calm? It made me wonder. And I was like, why am I so calm? Is it because I'm enjoying the nature? Or is it because I'm just enjoying the video game, the magnificent creation? Or is it I'm just running and just feeling, my body? What is it? And after learning from multiple spiritual teachers, I was actually not identified with my crazy mind at that time. When I was doing any of these activities, I was out of my obsessive mind, who was constantly giving me thoughts and thoughts after that, and I became an observer. I was running and I was just focused on running. Then I had thoughts. I'm like, okay, whatever, thoughts come and go, I'm still running. Same thing with cycling. When I was cycling, there were a few thoughts coming, but I wasn't holding on to it because I was moving. So I was moving and I was just focused on my motion. Same thing with the video games. I was playing the video games. I wasn't so concerned about these thoughts. Okay, they come and go. I'm focusing on the video game. So what has happened is, I have shifted my focus, and in many cases, I have become the observer, the awareness, the infinite awareness, which Neville Goddard talks about. And he talks about that we are this awareness, and from this awareness is where everything resides, and from this awareness is where everything comes to life. So if we are aware of our thoughts and we stop identifying, so you become an observer. If you're having constant negatives, oh, what is going to happen? I'm going to lose my job. The economy is in a bad downturn. People are getting fired. We might go out of business, or we might lose. So this is constantly your mind is telling you. But if you stop and observe, who is doing the thinking? Where are these thoughts coming from? And if you're able to observe your own thoughts, that means You are not your mind. You are not the possessed entity. You are the greater awareness who can step back and look at this and realize that I'm not my limited self. I'm this awareness, and I can observe this event or this situation from a distance. And that is what gave me space, and that slowly, with more practice, the more practice of presence. Sometimes before I start a work, I would just do 1 minute, only 1 minute of just breath centering, just focus on my breath. Just 1 minute. And that 1 minute is so powerful. If you do it on a regular basis, it is amazing. That 1 minute taught me so much. It helped me relax. It helped me get centered and just focusing on my breath. And I realized I'm not my mind. I'm not controlled by it anymore. I can have a distance between the stimulus I get, and I don't even have to respond. I can be just calm and just observe. So you are that amazing infinite awareness. That is who you are. That is the reality. You are that amazing infinite awareness who can create anything, who can change any direction of your life. You are that infinite being because you are able to observe your thoughts. And with the power of your imagination, you can replace those thoughts. You can replace those images in your mind's eye with positive images, with images of your desires, as if it is already done. So for me, when I started reading a lot of spiritual books, I realized a lot of them are actually books on manifesting. Like this was like when I was reading Power of Now, when I first read it almost 9 years ago. It was a very spiritual book. It really helped me. I was going through some difficult times. But when I learned about manifesting and when I revisited the book, I realized this book is talking a lot about manifesting, even though it never directly says that. The more you're present with it, the more you're not identified with the negative situations in your life, the less of that happens. This is very similar to manifesting. The more you are able to let go and focus on the positive events or good events in your life, the more of those will happen. Very similar concept to manifesting. And really what Eckhart Tolle and other spiritual teachers taught me is to be able to be in the flow, to be able to be okay with the chaos and not identified with it. And when I stop identifying with this chaos, with my crazy monkey mind, with these constant negative thoughts I had, obsessive thoughts, it gave me a sense of peace, a sense of space. And because it gave me a sense of space, I wasn't identified with those negative events and thoughts. Less and less of those events were happening in my life. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it wonderful? It's very much like manifesting. So if you're constantly obsessing about a thought, and we might impress those negative or obsessive thoughts in our mind, and then that will be manifested. But if you're able to detach ourselves, just observe our thoughts, then the likelihood of those events or those thoughts or those negative obsessive thoughts impressing on our subconscious mind is very small. So the likelihood of those thoughts being impressed on our subconscious mind is very small because we are not identifying with it. And because we're not identifying with it, we can step back. We can let those go. We can be okay with the chaos which is going on in our mind and just focus on our desire, impress our desire, and eventually, slowly, we will be moved to our desire. A bridge of incidents will happen which will take us to our desired end. So that's all I wanted to share. This is the pathway to spiritual freedom, by taking a view of an observer and observing your thought, not being bogged down, not being caught up with those thoughts. I wish you learned some great lessons from this. It also brings me mental peace and also will help you with your manifesting journey. And if you have some interesting comments, and if you have read any of those spiritual books, please post them in the comment section below. I would love to know your thoughts. And until then, I wish you great success on your spiritual journey and on your manifesting journey. Take care.